Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to NAWBO On the Go. My name is Tanya Shagnon. With me today, I have Riana LeJeune of our Iowa chapter. And congratulations, Riana, on being named the Women Business Owner of the Year for the Iowa chapter. That is such a huge accomplishment.
Thank you so much.
Yay, I can't wait to learn more about you. We always start with a personal question. So let's just jump right on in and tell me something that you're passionate about. What is something that you personally advocate for?
Well, I am a mother of a nearly 15-year-old girl, and she has been my motivator through all of this. I want to build a lasting legacy for her. And through our journey, I started my business when she was a year and a half. And through that journey, she was diagnosed with ADHD and autism. And her diagnosis actually led to my late diagnosis at the age of 41. So I am a passionate advocate for neuro-inclusive hiring practices in business and just creating more opportunities for the neurodiverse.
That is amazing. And the lessons and the journey, we're going to talk about that some more offline. I want to learn more about that. Um, Okay, so you own a luxury upholstery company in Iowa. Let's talk about that. How did your journey as an entrepreneur begin, and what made you want to start this type of business?
Well, in the beginning, it was not a luxury business. We've evolved into that. When I got started in 2013, I actually went to high school with the creator of Pinterest, and Pinterest
Wow.
was a new app going into everyone's phones. So there was a lot of talk in our community about his innovation. And the consensus of my mom group was that they didn't have the time, skill, patience, tools to do these projects. And so I just said, hey, I'll do your projects for you. So it essentially started out, getting secondhand items, even off the curb or Craigslist, and creating my designs and then selling them. But I soon learned that, with us doing high-end refinishing, that we couldn't compete with chalk paint. And so then we pivoted into the upholstery world. And that's when I found out that everyone thinks it's a dying art, which it's not. It's just that education's not accessible to people, and that it's a centuries old skilled trade. And after all, what is a room without furniture? So I knew that.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, such a true statement.
So that was my niche, So if everyone was going to paint furniture, I was going to pivot and learn upholstery. And I always say I'm an unlikely entrepreneur because I didn't study any business in college. My degree was actually in psychology and criminal justice. So this was sort of my way of reinventing myself. But yes, so when I wanted to learn upholstery, there are no schools for it in Iowa and in most states. The
Right.
programs are gone.
So how did
Uh,
you learn it?
so I was self-taught initially,
Wow.
a lot of trying and crying. And then as I would learn new techniques, I would teach my partner, Justin. And then locally, people are not eager to teach their skills because they were afraid of competition. And so I had to seek out mentors in other states that were willing to share knowledge.
Right.
And so I have some really great mentors, and it can feel very lonely in business if you don't have a community.
Absolutely. That's why NAWBO was founded after all.
Exactly. And I will admit, I actually went to a NAWBO meeting my very first year in business, but I had imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
I left and I
it's a
said,
real thing.
yes. And I said, I'll come back when, I've honed my skills and I'm more established, but it was very lonely.
Mhm.
And I'm lucky that I have a lot of perseverance and dedication because I didn't give up when I met those hurdles. But when I circled back around and joined NAWBO again, it's been amazing. Just the I can't say enough good things about the women in my chapter. Just the support and guidance and willingness to share information is wonderful.
I love that. And how long have you been a NAWBO member?
I would say since the pandemic.
Okay. Yeah, I love that. Okay. What challenges have you faced in the luxury upholstery industry, and how have you overcome them? Because I feel like your challenges are going to be a little bit unique, but a lot of bit the same.
Well, as I mentioned, there were no schools for upholstery here, and
Yeah,
finding
that's
that
right.
community was amazing. So actually in 2019, a group of fabulous upholsterers in many different states got together and established the National Upholstery Association. So that was just 2019. So, it's still in it's a baby.
Still, yeah,
And
definitely.
but we have members all over the country, and the hurdles that most upholsterers face is the inability to scale
Mhm.
because these skills are not easily replicated. And, we're so busy meeting the high demand that our mindset isn't on delegation and scaling. So
Right,
we
right.
get stuck in that like treadmill mode and, of the mindset of, "Oh, it's just faster if I do it myself." But
Yeah.
then it's impossible to grow.
Yeah, that is so hard. And so, how do you balance um, meeting customer demands, but making sure you're teaching the next generation?
So I'm a little bit unique and a trailblazer in my industry because a few years ago, I really wanted to start an apprenticeship.
Mhm.
And I reached out to the US Department of Labor and they said, absolutely, we want this, but there's no curriculum. Can you write it? And at that point, it just seemed like an overwhelming task that, that's
Right.
why it hadn't been done yet.
Exactly.
But so 2 years ago, I took a step back from networking and from socializing in general and just really focused on my mental and physical health. And I was able to tackle that task. So we Repinned, and Iowa does have the nation's first registered apprenticeship for custom upholstery. And it is with the United States Department of Labor and the Iowa Office of Apprenticeship. So
I am so proud of you. That is amazing.
thank you
Congratulations.
so much. And it is structured in a way that an upholsterer in any state in the US could go on the US Department's of Labor's website and get that curriculum, that structure, and implement it in their workroom. But the catch is they have to be in leadership mindset growth. So,
Mhm.
because there is
Yes.
no apprenticeship without leadership. So
Right.
although the outline is there, it's really up to the individual shop to implement it.
That is so impressive. I love that. Congratulations again. That is huge. Okay, so um I know things are changing in every industry across the country. I'm sure things are changing in the upholstery industry. To keep up with this, you just created a brand new AI powered visualization app called Renewable. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So I have noticed a trend that many adjacent industries, such as interior designers and architects, over time, they've all evolved to stay current with technologies such as CAD and SketchUp to help their businesses thrive. But upholstery being a centuries old skilled trade, a lot of things are still done traditionally and operating on like one or two people in a shop. And so a lot of innovation is not available to us. So I like to look around and see what everyone else is doing, and I like to go the opposite way. So I see many fabulous professionals in our industry focusing on classes and education and keeping the physical skills going, but no one was focusing on the innovation. And so for a few years now, I've wanted to add technology, but every time I would approach a developer or angel investors, it would be nearing $100,000 to develop even a prototype.
Right.
So this last spring, April of 2025, with how much momentum AI was getting, I thought, maybe this is my opportunity. So I leveraged my upholstery expertise and AI, and I built Renewable, which is a visualization tool, but also a lead funnel And we're launching to pros first to populate the professional directory and for them to implement it in their quoting processes and their fabric sales and design to help them be more profitable. And then we will launch to the general public so that they can utilize it while they're out thrifting, estate sales, their mom's house, to really visualize what existing furniture could be and get them excited about using it. And then it connects them with those professionals that can actually carry out the work.
So when you say you're launching to professionals first, is that professional upholsterers? Is it interior designers? What does that mean?
So right now we're in the pre-seed phase of the app. So just coming out of beta, but it is
Mhm.
launched globally. So it is a software as a sale. So I mean, I even have upholsterers in Iceland,
That's so
Sweden, the
amazing.
UK using it. But right now, we're focusing on all home furnishing professionals. So that would be
Mhm.
upholsterers, woodworkers, drapery and window treatments. Even furniture flippers could use it, and interior designers. So anywhere there is, a piece of furniture or windows or anything involving a room with furnishings, those professionals can use it.
That's amazing. Okay, so we've launched. We just closed beta. What's next?
So right now, I am currently self-funded, and that can be a hard road. Anyone in
Absolutely.
business knows.
Exactly.
So I am very lucky that Iowa is very supportive of its entrepreneurs, and they want to encourage innovation here. So I've just joined Iowa's Technology Association, and I'm their only upholsterer. But so other than that, there is a group called VentureNet, and there was an application process, and then I had to pitch in front of a panel of 7 professionals from varying industries.
Yikes.
Yes, and I, up until last year, had a fear of public speaking. Uh, but I find when you have passion and purpose, then you're willing to get out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Yes. So I made it past the initial panel. And then last week, I pitched to Iowa's Technology Commercialization Committee, and they recommended funding for us. So we're waiting on one more signature, and then there will be funding to scale and to continue further development.
That is incredible news. Congratulations. So we have the app, we have your new apprenticeship. How can these things help um, support artisans and the impact on local communities?
Well, as I previously mentioned, it's really hard for entrepreneurs or upholsterers to scale these businesses
Yeah.
because they feel like they can't replicate their skills. So it was one of those questions, which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Do you train the skilled workforce and then create the demand, or do you create the demand and then train the skilled workforce?
Right.
So by tackling both issues, I'm hoping to meet in the middle. And so Renewable is not just a visualization app, it is a full platform that will have resources for them to have guidelines on how to scale. It will have more financial training, just really the business scaling component that has been missing. And it will also funnel new talent into the industry because as a platform, just like Facebook and Instagram, it will bring artisans visibility that we so greatly lack. And I
Mhm.
don't know if you've ever noticed this, when you open up a magazine, you don't see any upholsterers listed. It's all interior designers,
Yeah.
architects, fabric companies. So people don't know that it's a viable career path. And so I'm hoping that Renewable will bring this visibility and credibility to our industry, and it will get consumers excited about using existing furniture. It will get these business owners the resources that they need and the empowerment to become leaders and to scale these businesses.
That is amazing. Okay, trends. I know there's trends. What trends are you seeing in your industry right now, and how is your business adapting to these changes?
I think everyone is really intimidated by AI. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people who aren't aware of its capabilities are scared it's coming for our jobs. but I really see it as just a value added as a tool, for that visual component. Sometimes it's really hard to close sales when people can't see the end outcome. And I think
Mhm.
that that's where a lot of interior designers and other professionals have had the upper hand, because they do have those CAD drawings and the clients can see the outcome and they're willing to invest. So in the upholstery industry, by adding AI, it really gives us the upper hand, because now in seconds, the client can see what their furniture is going to look like in these new fabrics in their homes, and then they can get excited about it. So I think there is going to be a huge shift in innovation, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
That is amazing, and I think you might be one of the leaders of it because you're doing such a great job. Um, Thank you for joining us today. Before I have you leave us, we always end with a favorite quote. Do you have a quote that you would like to share with us today?
Well, as previously mentioned, if you see everyone go one direction, turn and go the opposite way. And that was from Mike Rowe of Dirty Jobs. And that was really my inspiration back when I pivoted from, furniture painting into the skilled trade of upholstery. And then and again from the pivot from education into innovation.
I love that, and it is perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us today. It was a pleasure speaking with you and getting to know you, and I'm definitely following your journey.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, listeners, for joining us today as well, as always. And I will see you back here super soon for our next episode.